So I want some BikeVis on the Triumph Daytona 1200. So what I've done is I've just fabricated two metal brackets. The lights are actually just cable tied to the two metal brackets, but it's for a reason, and this is covered in black tape because these are going to go on the inside edge of the fairing, because I don't want to drill any of the plastics on the Daytona, and this gives me a nice flat surface. So by the time I get the inner curve of that fairing, these are going to sit there. You're not going to see these cable ties, you're not going to see this a little bit of an ugly bracket, you're not going to see any of that. You're just going to see the two spots, so that's going to go nicely. Yeah, power for them, what I've done is I've tapped in to the side lights. So these, unlike my other bike, where I have a relay on the Honda CB, I have a power distribution module on the Tiger 1200, but on here I'm going to wire them into the side lights. So this is my positive and negative, tapped off the side lights, and they are with some Scotch clip, but they're waterproof nicely in there. So now I'm going to modulate these. So those connections are going to have to go on here, and this connection off to the lights. So here's my lighting circuit. I've just tinned these with a soldering iron. That's going to connect to these two. So I just need to strip these back and make that soldered connection to these. I'll put some heat shrink over those. Now, without making sure these don't touch anything, I've got to make sure which is positive and negative on there, just to make sure I got my color coding right. I had decided this was my positive, this is the neg. So let's see. Right, so I've got 12.3 volts on the battery and 10.91 here. So that's not terrible. It's just probably reflecting the age of the wiring, and I don't know if there's any relay in the circuit up to the on these side lights, but it's just a reflection of that really in the age of the bike. But that'll be good enough to use that anyway. I mustn't forget to put my shrink tubing on before I solder these together. How many times have you soldered the wire together and damn. There you are. Push those away so they don't start shrinking during the soldering process. Right, I've got a little craft vise there to hold this cabling together for me. Right, it's the second one of my connections. I'm just going to solder these together. Let's start off with a little transfer a bit of heat. Now, just a bit of heat shrink around those soldered connections. Good, they're going nowhere. Sealed, waterproof. So if you can get a good solder, it's just a way of avoiding lots and lots of spades and just lots of points of failure. This isn't going to be pulled. I've got two good connections there. They're soldered together. That's going to last forever. So now I need to take the output from my modulator and connect that to the lights. And the output to the modulator are color coded the same way as the lights, so both black but one with a white stripe. So I'll just tin those, then I'll do another solder connection again. Cool, so that's my modulator output connected to the two spots. I've just got some heat shrink around there of the soldered connection, and I need to shrink those up. Nice, 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 nice. So that's my circuit in the end. Down there, from the side, tap off from the side lights into the modulator, out of the modulator, and into two pairs of spots at the front there. So I'll cable tie up the excess wiring. Well, actually, I better check them first, hadn't I? Side lights on, spots come on, modulator takes a few seconds to get activated. and it's activated. Cool. Make sure they still come on with the mains. No funny buggers with the high beam. Hear the high beam relay clicking in there. All good. So the benefits of having a fairing. So I've just cable tied up that modulating unit to one of the wiring looms there, and the excess cable there. So this can all go back together again now. Speedo. A little plate in here, which is I've always thought this plate here is a bit of an afterthought in design. Like, oh shit, we need to cover that up. Let's just make some sort of generic drilled plate